Hello everyone, and welcome to my next games collection video. Today I'll be doing my PS3 collection. Start off with Beatles Rock Band. Got this game more really for my mum than for myself, given that, well, I do enjoy playing through songs that I wouldn't normally listen to, but would play, but for playing them on the Rock Band games. But my mum loves the Beatles, so you know, I got that to really share with her. Buzz Quiz TV, good fun party game. I like the old Buzz games back on the PS2, and it's a good one on PS3. And I do think Buzz, the character, is a lot. Is a good witty host. So yeah, good enjoyable quiz game there. Devil May Cry 4. I really like this game. It's a bit Nero heavy. I think they could have balanced it a bit more and had about half Dante, half Nero. But really enjoyed this game. The gameplay is awesome. The graphics are beautiful. One thing that I don't recommend, after you've played this, I don't recommend going straight back onto one of the PS2 Devil May Cry games, because you really notice the graphic drop and everything looks all jaggedy and horrible. I would like to see Capcom do what Sony have been doing with a few of their games and re-release this, re-release Devil May Cry 1, 2 and 3, or maybe just 1 and 3, as like they did with the God of War games, you know, with enhanced PS3 graphics. The Eye of Judgment, I mainly got this for the iToy. It's not a bad little game, but I think it would have worked better if they'd have used an existing card system like Magic the Gathering, rather than creating their own, because it means that people have to collect all these separate cards that, once the game's no longer supported, the cards essentially are no longer supported. So, you know, I'm surprised Nintendo didn't capitalise on this idea and do a Pokemon version for the Wii. But as there's no Wii camera, then they may do something like that for the 3DS though. Who knows? Green Day Rock Band. Now this one I love a lot more than Beatles Rock Band, because I'm a big Green Day fan. Pretty much I know every single song on this, and that's a rarity for one of these music games, because there's always some that you think, I'll skip that one, but really enjoyed this. Guitar Hero 3 Legends of Rock. Now this has one of the best soundtracks of all the Guitar Hero games, and I'm surprised that they haven't made a way to update all of the tracks in this up to full band and import it into one of the later games. But I would consider, I'd say this was probably the best soundtrack Guitar Hero ever did. Guitar Hero Aerosmith. Now this was really disappointing, given the fact that there's half of the songs are by just random artists that might like played or influenced Aerosmith, and the other half of the tracks are not Aerosmith's most famous songs. It's just like a lot of their more famous songs seem to have got missed off the list, which were disappointing. I really should have let the fans choose which songs were on it, rather than just some board of directors or something. Guitar Hero World Tour. This soundtrack's not too bad, not as good as Guitar Hero 3. I were really chuffed with the song creator that was introduced with it, until I tried to make a song longer than 3 minutes, which meant that for some songs I could fit them in if I cut out a verse and a chorus, but you know, it was good for what it was at the time. Guitar Hero Metallica. This has got one of the best soundtracks that Guitar Hero has done, and it's actually got pretty much all of Metallica's well-known tracks, rather than unlike the Aerosmith one where it just has like a few well-known ones and a load of obscurities. So I'm pretty happy with this. And also I think the guest acts that they put on are a better collection of songs than what you got on the Aerosmith one. Guitar Hero Greatest Hits, known as Guitar Hero Smash Hits in America. This one has got, I wouldn't say it's got the best songs of Guitar Hero 1, 2 and 3, but it's got the most popular songs of Guitar Hero 1, 2 and 3. The difference of course being that just because the song's popular doesn't mean it's good. Guitar Hero 5, now as far as the soundtrack's concerned, this is one of the worst Guitar Hero game. Well, it is the worst. Well, apart from Guitar Hero Aerosmith, I'd say this is the worst Guitar Hero soundtrack ever. I mean, even awesome songs like Iron Maiden's 2 Minutes to Midnight were ruined by them censoring out words, and they weren't swear words. It was just like line to kill the unborn in the womb was just cut. So I was pretty disappointed with that, and thankfully it was released as downloadable content on Rock Band, so I don't have to play it on this one. But what I will say about this one is they really improved the song creator, making you able to have up to 10-minute long songs, which covers pretty much everything, except you're limited with the number of the notes pool. You can only have a total of 7,500 notes, which if you're doing a bit of power metal or speed metal, then anything that's got more than 16, any song longer than about 3 or 4 minutes that's got that's mainly made up of 16 notes, then you've pretty much had it. Guitar Hero Warriors of Rock. Now this has got, I would say, has the best Guitar Hero soundtrack since Guitar Hero 3. It has the same song creator as in Guitar Hero 5. I'm disappointed that they didn't increase the note pool, but it's pretty good nonetheless. Heavenly Sword. Now I think this is an awesome game. It's a compelling story. It had awesome voice work by Andy Serkins, aka Gollum, and also its main criticism was it played too much like Devil May Cry or God of War, which is, the way I see it, it's like saying your girlfriend looks too much like Megan Fox. You know, it's not a criticism, it's a positive thing. But it didn't sell very well, probably because it was released when the PS3 was £450. So nobody bought it. Only people who had a PS3 bought it, so it meant that we didn't get a sequel, which they were going to do a trilogy of, so I'm really a bit disappointed about that. Lego Batman. Now, I love the Lego games because they do, basically what they do is, whereas most movie tie-ins tend to suck, adding Lego into the equation just makes them better. And the Batman one's pretty decent. It's not specifically based on any film, but the pairings of the villains are based on the films, because you've got the Joker. Well, he's got Harley Quinn with him, who wasn't in the film, but that's more from the animated series. But you've got the Penguin and Catwoman together, and you've got the Riddler and Two-Face together, and you don't have a story featuring Poison Ivy and Mr. Freeze, which is a good thing. Well, they do feature in the story, but they're not leading a story, so there's no story entirely based on Batman and Robin, which is a good thing. Lego Indiana Jones, love it for the same reasons as Lego Batman, and of course it's Indiana Jones. Lego Rock Band, not the best Rock Band soundtrack, but the Lego does add a bit of humour to it, and the little challenge modes featured in between are pretty decent. Some decent songs on here though, such as The Final Countdown and 2 songs by Queen, and also it features a Lego Queen in the game, so you know, what's not to love about that. Lego Star Wars: The Complete Trilogy. Same reasons as Lego Batman and Lego Indy. And also this one I think is better than the two individual versions because you've got the whole. It's the only game that has the entire 6 Star Wars films together as one continuous story. Little Big Planet. I love creator features on games. I love to create songs on Guitar Hero. I love create a wrestler, create a skater, create a skate park, creating everything basically. And this is basically a creator game. So I do love the creativity. It can get a bit complex to make anything decent, but the tutorials and story mode narrated by Stephen Fry is a good thing because Stephen Fry is awesome. Ratchet and Clank Tools of Destruction. I'm a big fan of the Ratchet and Clank games. This one's a really enjoyable one, and also it's a very. I think the graphics look really nice, and again, like with Devil May Cry, you don't want to play a PS2 one straight after this because you'll really notice the graphic drop. Rock Band. Pretty much self-explanatory really, and then of course Rock Band 2 and Rock Band 3. I like the improvements with Rock Band 3 in terms of the pro modes and the introduction of keyboard. One thing I would like to see in the future is for them to introduce a rhythm guitar as well as a lead guitar, and then you could maybe have some like guitar solos that was solo guitar battles, you know. But good nonetheless. Sega Rally, pretty decent racing game. Big improvement over the last Sega Rally game I played in the arcade, which I think were based on the Sega Saturn. But I like the way that the terrain stays affected by you driving through it, and then the way the next cars coming along handle, it reflects basically the bumps in the road. SingStar Queen, it's the only SingStar game I've got, simply because Queen are awesome. Soul Calibur 4, I love the Soul Calibur 2 back on the PS2. After Mortal Kombat, I'd probably say the Soul Calibur series is my favourite fighting game series. And I feel Darth Vader and Yoda are a little out of place as the guest characters, but I think it works. And also I like the fact that it's got create character mode. Uncharted Drake's Fortune. Now, I got fairly far in this and then sort of stopped. I can't remember why. I must get back on with this. Pretty decent game with a similar kind of feel to Tomb Raider to it. WWE Legends of WrestleMania. Pretty decent wrestling game. It's not the best wrestling game out there and also not the worst. It's nice to see all the classic legends again, but I kind of think it would have been better if you'd have just had a big legend pack on that year's version of SmackDown vs Raw. Maybe it's downloadable content or something. SmackDown vs Raw 2008. This was one of my more favourite ones in a way, but also not as much. I didn't like the way you were limited your moves to a fighting style, but I did like the introduction of Extreme Rules matches with burning tables, burning barbed wire 2x4s, etc. And I think that added to the game, but you know, it wasn't perfect. SmackDown vs Raw 2009. Now, my main problem with this game was the fact that the funny camera angles that they had when you got out of the ring, it was a bit disorientating when trying to work out where you were when the camera suddenly changed. All of a sudden, when we were used to just having the wide shots when you got out of the ring. I did like the Road to WrestleMania modes. I feel they could have made them a bit long. It would have been better if they made them a bit longer, maybe gone from SummerSlam to WrestleMania rather than the Royal Rumble to WrestleMania. But pretty decent. I think my favourite story mode on this would be Undertaker's. SmackDown vs Raw 2010. This one had a lot of potential when they were talking about it coming out, like the story designer mode. I was really looking forward for that. But when it did actually come out, it was very limited in the fact that you could only use a created wrestler 10 times or 10 created wrestlers. Basically, you had like 10 created wrestler slots, and you could either use one created wrestler in those 10 slots, or you could so if basically you'd had like a promo and a match featuring 5 created wrestlers in each of them, even if it were the same 5 going from the promo into the match, then that were it, you were done. You couldn't have any more created wrestlers in that whole story, which were very limiting when I have pretty much a whole roster of created wrestlers. I think I've nearly filled up all the 50 slots of the created wrestler options. So, but then of course there was SmackDown vs Raw 2011, which is basically, I think, the game that last year's game should have been. This of course is the Hitman edition. There's the game inside, which included downloadable content for Bret Hart. I got this from pre-ordering it at Game. I wanted the Deadman edition, but I didn't know where to pre-order it from, and as I normally pre-order it from Game, there we go. Bret Hart's a pretty decent character to have on it, but I kind of wanted a Ministry of Darkness Undertaker. But anywho, that's my PS3 games collection as it stands at the moment. Please rate, comment and subscribe, and thanks for watching. Bye.